ACM stands for Air Combat Maneuvering, and refers to 3 radar modes specially designed for use on air-to-air combat at close range, less than 10 nautical miles. VT, Vertical Scan Mode. On this mode the radar will scan a vertical area in front of the aircraft 10 degrees wide by 50 degrees high vertical area. BS, Boresight Mode. Here the radar scans a cone of 4 degrees diameter directly in front of the JF-17. HA, HUD Area Mode. The radar will scan an area that covers the HUD field of view. On all 3 modes, the radar will scan to a distance of 10 nautical miles and automatically lock any contact that it finds. For this mission, the lesson contents will be: Introduction to Radar ACM Modes. Activate IFF and Master Arm. Preparing air-to-air weapons with the SMS. Using AA weapons for ACM. Press spacebar to begin. The JF-17 autopilot is active, so that you can take a moment to set up the cockpit. We've also placed DCS on active pause, while we configure the aircraft and explain the ACM basics. You can adjust the cockpit lighting, if needed, using the knobs at the right console. Press spacebar to continue. For this practice, please select Air-to-Air Master Mode using the T1 switch on your HOTAS, or press the number 2 key. Good. Air-to-Air mode is now selected, and the mission computer has assigned a default configuration for the MFCD displays. Press spacebar to continue. We will activate the IFF, following this checklist. 1. Check that the IFF system is powered, by looking at its green LED on the AAP, Avionics Activation Panel, on the right console. Press spacebar to continue. 2. Activate the IFF interrogator. Open the IFF menu page on the UFCP, Upfront Control Panel, by clicking on the highlighted IFF button. 3. For single-player missions, select IFF Mode 1. Click on the arrow next to M1-, it should turn into M1+, once activated. Good, we have activated just the IFF interrogator, as the transponder isn't really needed on single-player, and set it to IFF Mode 1. Note that for multiplayer you would activate both interrogator and transponder, and use Mode 6 if there were other players also flying JF-17s. Press spacebar to continue. The SMS is used to prepare and configure the aircraft's armament, also called stores. It is currently displayed on the left MFCD and we will take a moment to study it. The format of this page varies somewhat depending on our master mode and which weapons we have mounted. Currently we are seeing the air-to-air SMS page. The SMS manages our weapons through the use of programs or profiles. The currently selected profile is AA Prog 2, used for the SD-10 Fox 3 AA missiles. You can toggle through the different weapons and profiles using the HOTAS S8 button. The currently selected weapon is denoted by a square enclosing it on the diagram. If you have more than one pylon with the same weapon type, you can toggle them using the HOTAS S5 button. Note that you can toggle only the pylon. If there is more than one weapon on the pylon, you can choose among them. Try both HOTAS button to get used to their operation and then press spacebar to continue. Under each pylon, its current status is shown. Off, the master arm switch is off. STB, the weapon is initializing. RDY, the weapon is ready to fire. ARM, the weapon fuse is armed. FAL, failure, the pylon is damaged. Depicted in red, it can be repaired when landed at an airbase. For the next section, please use S8 on the HOTAS to select the PL5 missiles and then press spacebar to continue. We will now describe the main elements of the SMS page for the PL5 missile. The highlighted item is the current missile status. It is initially off, after the master arm is switched to on, the missile status blinking while it warms up, which takes about 10 seconds, and then the status will change to on. On the pylon's display, the status of the missiles will go from off, to standby while warming up, to armed once the missile is ready to be fired. Press spacebar to continue. The highlighted item is the currently selected weapon. The button to its left allows you to change weapon without using the HOTAS. The remaining items are used to configure the gun and not relevant for this missile. For the next section, please use S8 on the HOTAS to select the SD-10 missiles and then press spacebar to continue. The highlighted items are not simulated yet. Prep mode, missile preparation mode. MSL bit, missile bit test. Press spacebar to continue. This item allows us to adjust the missile guidance depending on the target size. SML, small target. MID, medium-sized target. LAR, large target. Press spacebar to continue. Unlike the air-to-air missiles, the GSH-23-2 gun can't be activated from the HOTAS. You must use the gun button on the SMS to activate it. However, before clicking on it, we have to place the master arm switch to the on position. Please left-click on it now. Good, now click the highlighted button on the SMS to select the gun. Its indicator will blink briefly and then will be boxed to indicate that the gun is selected. Good, we have now the gun selected, as denoted by the boxed symbol. The highlighted value is the number of rounds that the gun has available, 180 rounds on this case. Before using the gun for the first time, we need to feed the first round onto the gun chamber, which is done by clicking on the feed button. The button will blink while the loading takes place. When the blinking stops, the gun is ready to use. If the gun jams during combat, you may press feed again to attempt to unjam it. However, you can click on feed only 3 times. After the third attempt the gun will not respond anymore and feed will keep blinking. Click feed now to load the gun. We will now review the gun options that the SMS provides. Limiter, used to limit the gun burst to 0.2 or half a seconds. Select off to fire for as long as the trigger is pressed. Gun sight, selects the type of HUD crosshair to be used for aiming. Select amongst LCOS, lead computing optical sight, SS, snake sight, or both, SSLC. Press spacebar to continue. To enter ACM mode, just press S1 forward, dogfight, on your HOTAS, or press the 3 key. By default, the radar will be on VT mode. Try it now. The radar display shows the current ACM mode, as does the HUD. You can toggle between the 3 ACM modes using the S2 hat on your HOTAS, as follows. S2 right, selects HA, HUD area, mode. S2 forward, select BS, boresight, mode. S2 down, selects VT, vertical, mode. You can exit ACM mode by pressing S1 push on your HOTAS. This will return the mission computer to its previous master mode. Try it now. Good, we have exited from ACM mode. Next, enter ACM mode again, by using S1 forward on the HOTAS. VT mode. On this mode the radar will scan a vertical area in front of the aircraft 10 degrees wide by 50 degrees high vertical area. Observe how the HUD displays 2 vertical dashed lines on VT mode, to mark the horizontal extent of the detection zone, with the top and bottom limits outside of the HUD display. Press S2 forward to enter boresight, BS, mode. BS mode. Here the radar scans a cone of 4 degrees diameter directly in front of the JF-17. The HUD displays a 4 degrees circle to represent the scan zone of this mode. Note that most radar adjustments are fixed. The display scale is set to 10 nautical miles. The PRF is set to medium PRF. The azimuth and bars are fixed, but different for each ACM mode. Press S2 right to enter HUD area, HA, mode. HA mode. On this mode, the radar will scan an area that covers the HUD field of view, so no delimiters are shown. I will now activate a pair of hostile transport aircraft in front of you, so you can practice the ACM radar modes and shooting air-to-air missiles in close range. Press spacebar to generate the hostiles. We will now activate 2 hostile transport aircrafts in front of you, and release the active pause. Take control of your aircraft and maneuver in such a way to get the hostile plane onto the detection zone. The radar will take a few seconds. The shoot cue on the HUD tells you that your missile is within maximum range. However, now, maneuver the aircraft in such a way that the steering dot on the HUD is placed inside the ASC circle. On the lower right of the HUD there is a timer with the time in seconds that the missile needs to reach the target. Hostile 1 has been damaged. You've got a lock on the remaining target, so the radar has automatically entered STT mode. Remember to confirm that the contact on the radar is hostile. Now, maneuver the aircraft again in such a way that the steering dot on the HUD is placed inside the ASC circle. See if you can detect and destroy the remaining hostile. You can use the BVR modes of the radar in case the hostile has distanced over 10 nautical miles. Hostile 2 has been damaged. You are too slow, increase throttle to reduce range with the hostile. Excellent, Hostile 2 has been killed and you have earned a 50-point score. Note that the plane is drifting towards one side, that's because your loadout is now asymmetric. Use left or right trim to return the aircraft to a neutral attitude. Excellent, the last hostile has been killed. We are now at the end of this training lesson. The subjects covered during it were: Introduction to Radar ACM modes, Activate IFF and Master Arm, Preparing air-to-air weapons with the SMS, Using AA weapons for ACM. You may now press Escape and leave the mission.